Today we're making vegetable quinoa chili, and you are going to love it. These are all the ingredients, wonderful whole food plant-based kind of ingredients that will come together to create this. Won't take long, your kitchen will smell great, and I think you're gonna love it. We're gonna start with some quinoa, which can be pre-cooked. I have a couple of different kinds of beans. Here you'll see pinto beans, black beans, and a whole host of vegetables. I had a zucchini in the refrigerator, a couple kinds of peppers. I even had a jalapeno. We're gonna add some garlic and onion, but again, whatever vegetables you have are always good. There are lots of seasonings and spices in here, but it's not overly hot at all. I think the only spicy thing I have in here is some chili powder. I have regular black pepper, some cumin and coriander, garlic powder, onion powder, obviously some salt and pepper. Add a little bit of sweetness. I put a can of corn in there, and then a can of crushed tomatoes and some vegetable stock. So all these together are gonna be wonderful when it all cooks together in this chili. So let's get started. We're gonna start by sauteing some onions and garlic in a pot. I am water sauteing today. I don't have any oil at all in this entire recipe. So those of you that are holding back on the oil, you'll be fine. On this particular layer, we're gonna add just some salt and pepper. And I always encourage you to season every layer of your food so that you make sure you have some flavor in all the layers. Now, when you put salt and pepper in a dry pot like this, you might get a little bit of hardness on the bottom. Just add a little bit more water and it'll come right on up. As a matter of fact, the stuff on the bottom is the good stuff. I just call that stuff the little goodness. And even if it gets brown, it's good. Once you put the water in, it'll come up and that'll just add another layer of flavor in this pan. So we have flavor in level 1. What we're going to do now is add all of our vegetables. So once you put all these in the pan, you're gonna give it an opportunity to just sort of cook down. But a lot of this is going to cook in the liquid, but we do want to season this layer as well. So just mix it up so that layer 1, seasonings and the onion and garlic, mix with all of your beautiful, colorful vegetables. This is so nutritious. All those colors mean nutrients. And then we're going to add our plate of seasonings. We have cumin and garlic and salt and pepper, granulated onion, granulated garlic, and chili powder. So then just make sure every morsel touches every piece of those seasonings. You see how it's just being mixed. Before I add the liquid, I want to make sure that everything is coated so that we have a lot of flavor, and the flavor is going to be throughout the entire meal. So once we got our flavors in there, now we can add our vegetable broth. I use an entire carton of vegetable broth, but it's really up to you. If you like your chili thicker, then don't add as much liquid because the tomato can is going to have a lot of liquid as well. And then I'm also going to add our can of corn, which was awesome because I just love that little crunch, that little sweetness. So we have our seasonings, we have multiple layers of seasonings, our corn and all of our other vegetables, and we're just going to put a lid on it and walk away for a little bit. You just want to get it hot and bubbly just like this. Then you can add your beans because they are already cooked, they're in a can. You can add fresh beans that you soaked if you like, but I like it right out of the can. I'm going to put in my quinoa. I only cooked a half a cup of quinoa, but I ended up with 3 by the time I was done cooking it. And then we're going to put an entire can, a large can of our crushed tomatoes. You could have put sliced tomatoes, you could have put diced tomatoes, whatever you have, make it work, y'all, okay? But this is what our chili looks like so far. Just want to taste it to see if I'm missing anything. And I was missing a little bit of something, so I add a little bit more salt because it was a lot of liquid, and a little bit more pepper, and then we'll just give her another stir and see how it tastes now, which should be pretty good. The good thing about this is once you get all your seasonings and things right, you're just going to let this sit back and cook and cook and cook. In fact, cook it till you're finished doing whatever you needed to do, because I think the longer it cooked, the better it got, and it just got thicker and thicker. Again, I had a lot of liquid in there, but if I wanted it to start coming off of that a little bit, so I cooked it for a while with the lid partially on so that some of that liquid could evaporate. But this turned out exactly the way I wanted it. So I wanted to top it off with a little bit of lemons, just to sort of make the whole thing pop. It brings out some flavors. Mix that in there, and I think we're pretty much done. Look at that. That is absolutely delicious. Check it one more time for your seasoning before you give it to anybody. If everything looks good, it's time to plate it up. We're going for a huge bowl of chili. And right now it's fall, but actually it's winter where we are now, and this is going to be perfect to eat with the game tomorrow. Look at her. Oh, that's delicious. The house smells good, the bowl looks good, and the chili tastes good. What more can you ask for, right? It was a very quick and easy recipe that came together pretty fast. Most of the time you weren't even bothered with it, you just let it cook. But every spoonful has every one of those ingredients that we put in the pan. So I think you're gonna love it. I hope you try it. If you do, give me a thumbs up at the bottom. Please like and subscribe and enjoy. See you in the next video.